was planting my seeds and working towards my gardening project. And the third and the most important objective of this presentation for Region 3 is to bring some attention to climate change and what as an individual we can do. What's something that we can take a social responsibility towards climate change, and how this planting and keeping our earth green is going to help the health initiatives, how it is going to nurture our own health. So without waiting further, I'm going to share a slide which I have from my computer. So I'm going to just make my video. I'm just going to turn off my video here, and I will start with the presentation, and then we can meet again in my living room. So here I go, and you will see my presentation of the slide right away. And here it comes. And I believe I can share my screen. I believe it says all participants can share. So Lois, can I share my slide from my, because it's not allowing me to?
Yes, you should have full privileges to, I'll make you a copy. Okay, try again now. I'm sorry.
No, it says only host or.
Well, let me make you go. I see. Try now.
Okay. Okay, if you have made me host, then I can share.
You are.
Okay, I cannot. It's, if you can pick my another icon, which is just my name. If you can make that one host, then I will be able to share, not the picture. Okay, let's see. This file is really big, otherwise I would have shared. Okay, so here we go. Can everyone see?
It's coming up. There we go. It's up.
Okay. So I just wanted to show some green on the slide and say that this is why we are going to learn to grow like a pro. The reason we are talking about grow like a pro is that I wanted to show you this picture. Think about the earth. If we don't do anything for next 25 years, the earth is going to look like what we see on the left-hand side. It will be dry, the temperatures will be very high. We may not have the green around us. If we take action now, then we will be able to preserve. And I believe everyone is hearing a lot of news around the world that climate needs attention. We only need to bring the temperature down by 1.5 degrees. And this bringing down our global temperature from whatever it is right now to 1.5 degree below, it's going to take a lot of effort, which means we all need to act collectively. We need to reduce the release of methane and release of nitrous oxide in air. While we all are going to learn about reducing our carbon print, number one action that we can take today is to help our friends who are helping us, which means the plants and trees which release more oxygen in the air. We need to multiply the number of trees and number of plants. So this is one of the initiatives I wanted to talk about while talking about how to plant our seeds today. because we do not have planet B. This is our planet. This is our house. This is where we are going to live for hundreds of years, not only us, our future generation. So what are we going to do is promote what you see on the top of the slide and prevent what we are seeing below. And I know that we have very short time, so I'm not going to go in detail about what we can recycle and how we can recycle. I'm going to focus my presentation on just the planting today. So carbon sequestration happens when we plant trees. Simple. If we reduce the use of materials which are not going to biodegrade, or if they are not biodegradable, but we can still bring the balance by planting trees, planting our vegetable gardens. So why do we need plants? If we go outside under the influence of plants, it increases our memory retention up to 20%. A recent University of Michigan study showed that the effect of nature in the home and the workplace serves to stimulate both the senses and the mind, improving mental cognition and performance. We need that. We need the tranquility. We need to relieve our stress. We need to care for ourselves so that we can care for our patients in a much better manner. Connecting with nature, when we are spending time in nature, we have an increased feeling of vitality. Tell me if you did not feel that. Increases our energy levels and makes us feel more animated. When we get out of the house, we look around, look at the sky, look at the trees, just think how we feel. This can lead to in turn increase by the improved state of mind. So natural environments induce a positive outlook on our life, making people feel more alive and active. When we have increased vigor, it reflects on everything: how we talk to other people, how we interact with our patients, and how we care. And plants are found to improve the performance at home by increasing perceived vitality and giving a feeling of added energy. So that's why we need plants all around us. Believe me, since I have started bringing plants to my house, and if you see right behind me, and I will turn on my camera again, this, as soon as I walk in the house, I have this sense of, oh my God, I have come to my plant babies, and I feel so good looking at them. The impact on healing. So shrubs, trees, and flowers have a practical application in hospitals. Just the presence of plant in the patient's recovery room greatly reduces the time necessary to heal. There is a great literature out there about horticulture therapy. Consider when we care and nurture the plant ourselves. People who physically interact with plants, they experience a significantly reduced recovery time after medical procedures. Now, these are the proven research that I found on internet, and I wanted to share with you. So finally, bringing gardening and a climate-friendly activity together, and that too, discussing this with nurses who are healthcare heroes, healers, who are out there treating not only their patients just physically, but holistically. The compassion and the care that we carry with us, it transcends so much positivity to our patients. And we need that for ourselves as well. We need to focus on self-care as well. So how do we associate this planting and gardening with our own self-care activity? So I found these pictures, actually they are real pictures from internet. And if you can see all these pictures, there is a nursing home where they have done this planting workshop. And you can see a nurse looking at the garden. She's on her break and she's looking at the flower and she's smiling. So we do need to unwind. We do need to relax. We do need to pause. Just take a little bit of moment for ourselves and find our pleasure and tranquility in an activity such as connecting with nature. So how do we grow? So this is something that I was thinking, how am I going to connect our activity of planting with something that can relate to our own growth? How do we grow? How do nurses grow? So think about a plant. How does the plant thrive? If you look at a plant, it requires good soil. If you do not have a right combination of soil, even if you plant a seed, the seeds are not going to germinate. It's not going to bloom into a full-fledged plant. And similarly, if we do not have our foundation, if we do not have a soil which is fertile enough to make us bloom, we are not going to grow. So we need to find the soil. Where are we going to grow? They say bloom where you are planted. So we need to find our soil. And our soil can be the organization where we work. Our soil can be the people around us. Our soil can be people that we interact with daily. And that's where we are going to grow. Find your fertilizer. A plant needs fertilizer to have fruits and flowers. So where is our fertilizer? To Region 3 members, this organization, our chapter, that's our fertilizer. We connect with each other, we elevate each other, we nurture each other, and we promote each other, we support each other, and that's how we bloom and we grow. Mentor, find a mentor. That's how we are going to have a lot more flowers. When you want to present somewhere, when you want to go for an advanced degree, anything you need to do in your life as a nurse and as in a professional career, you need to have a mentor. And where are you going to find this mentor? In a professional nursing organization. Nurture. We need to stay together. We need to nurture each other. We need to support each other. Then only we can grow together as a garden, a different kind of flower. I'm a different kind of plant. You are a different kind of plant. But in a garden, we all are together, blooming together in the right kind of soil. Being honest and direct is another way to self-care. We have to be verbal what we need and just get support from our organization members. Be helpful. Compassion, caring, and being helpful goes a long way. As nurses, we need to stay together. We need to be supportive. And again, it goes with the same sentiments that as considering us as a single plant, if we are together, we help each other and we grow together. Listening to others, yes, being a good listener is a part of being tranquil, absorbing the energy, and then giving it back. And self-care every day. So when you have plants at home, when you take care of the plants, believe me, you give them water and fertilizer, and they give you in abundance. You plant one seed, and it gives you blooms of flowers and vegetables. If you are tomato growers, or if you have had any herbs growing in your backyard, you will see that each plant gives you back more than what you have given to that plant. Going further, I would just say, before I get started with my experiments and my own connection with the plants and my own journey with planting, I want to thank you all in advance. And I would say, plant your seeds today. And I'm not talking about just the seeds, which are tangible seeds, or the flower seeds, or the lentil seeds, or the bean seeds. I'm talking about the seeds that we plant in terms of relationship, mentorship, elevating our nursing colleagues and professionals, acknowledging, and admiring. I always use these three words when I talked about being a professional nurse in any environment. Number one, acknowledge. Number two, appreciate. And number three, admire. These three things, if we incorporate in our life and plant our seeds in this manner, we will soon see that our own garden will be full of blooms, a lot more flowers, and a lot more produce. So with this note, I will end my slideshow here. I will take the questions if anyone has any at the end of this small demonstration that I have. And I believe that we are just going to have a little bit fun together.
You may put your questions in the chat, or you may raise your hand, be acknowledged, and ask your questions.
Okay. So I have some examples here, and I wanted to talk about first what I did in past 3 weeks. So whenever I want to plan my vegetable garden, like, believe me, I have been waiting since December because I just cannot wait to get my backyard vegetable garden started. And I prepare a lot in advance, and I keep collecting things which I can reuse. So none of the things which I have in my house, I don't throw if I feel that I'm going to use this as either my planter, or it can be something that which is biodegradable and something which is going to help my seeds grow fast. So number one, I want to show you what I had done in winter because I was missing my vegetable garden so much. This is, if you can see, this is just a simple border, and I put my onion right on top of it. And I had this beautiful centerpiece, and I have other pictures too. I put a garlic, and all you have to do is just place them on top of the water bottle, fill it up with water, and it grows. It just grows like a healthy plant. And I have a couple of onions and garlics growing in my kitchen. It's on my kitchen top. You don't have to do anything. One fine day, if you see, your whole kitchen top counter is full of these green beauties. And I have got so many compliments asking, how did you do it? And I said, all you have to do is fill up a water bottle, put the garlic on top or an onion, and it will grow. You are giving so little and they return in abundance. Second thing I wanted to share, that this is my favorite planter. And this planter in its previous life was a candle. So I don't throw anything. I planted my ZZ plant, and this is a baby ZZ plant, which is right here in my candle holder. Now, I want to share this, and this will look so familiar to you. And these are my 3-week-old green chili plants. And does this thing look familiar to you? Yes, it does, right? I don't throw any one of them. And these are biodegradable. This is the center of the toilet roll, and it's pretty clean. So I never throw them out. I have at least 50 to 60 of them. And as soon as the plants will grow, this will be planted right in the soil. It will degrade in the soil, and I don't have to go to a store to buy any seed starting container. Another example I wanted to show you, it's right here. And it's amazing how the plants grow in any kind of material and medium. So one example I wanted to give is these are my okra plants, which is 3 weeks old right now. Now this is a paper cup, and anything that is biodegradable should be used. So my paper cups, I plant my seeds in them. This is there is also a 2-cup method, and I would like to show that too. So this is a paper cup, and you don't have to buy anything from the store where they sell you commercially prepared seed starting materials. So paper cup is one. Believe it or not, my sage is growing into a reusable. This is a chocolate that someone gifted to me, and I said, I'm not throwing this box because this is biodegradable and it's going to go right in the soil when the sage plant is about, I would say at least it has to grow 10 inches. When it is 10 inches, it's going back in my soil, in my herb patch. I just wanted to experiment, and these are my pea plants, you can see. And yes, this box looks very familiar, right? So I tried light brown sugar, and can you see the roots? They are so impatient to grow, and I have to plant them in the soil as soon as they are 6 inches tall. And these are, and I think I'm going to post a video of how to prepare this. Okay, someone is asked, can you ask me the question because I can't read from the cell phone, and how can you tell whether the container is biodegradable? So mostly anything that is paper, boxes, cardboard boxes, everything that is paper, not plastic, they are biodegradable. So it also shows on the paper container, they will say recycled paper, biodegradable or non-biodegradable. Now this is a box that I made, it's an origami. So I did origami, and this is an origami box that you can create out of any magazine paper. And this is actually a biodegradable. So I wanted to show you, this is a paper box, and it's growing these are black-eyed peas, 3 weeks old. And that's how everything is going to go inside. And I also wanted to share something, how to recycle your soil. So I'm sure that many of you have soil or containers which has planting soil or the potting mix from previous year. And every time we go to the store to buy little bit more soil, everyone wants to bring a little bit more soil. So how do we do recycling of that soil? So this year I actually said, I'm not going to buy any more soil, I'm going to recycle it. And to recycle, I have two methodology. One, I have got this brick. This is actually, it's coconut coir. It looks like a brick, but all you have to do is open the package and put them in a big bucket and pour water. It becomes at least triple its size. And then you take half of this and half of the soil and you mix them up, and then you add compost. Now, question would be, where do I get compost from? And I would say composting is actually, and you can prepare your own compost. Anything that comes out of your kitchen, which is biodegradable, which means no plastic, no glass pieces, no metal, but anything else which is leftovers, kitchen scraps, the food that was in your fridge for a long time and you forgot, and then now you say that I need to throw it away, that's biodegradable. And that you can either put it in the compost bin in your backyard. And many people have this concern that compost bin, I'm afraid it's going to smell, but it does not if you do it in a proper manner. So composting combination, the ratio is very simple. Half, 50% is your kitchen waste or any organic material, fruits, vegetables, peels, rice, beans, any leftover food, anything, eggshells, that's 50%. And 50% is your shredded paper or your cardboard papers, anything which is paper. So it's green and brown, 50-50. That is your compost. And composting, I have posted a couple of composting videos in my Instagram, and I will share that Instagram with you at the end of this session. It's a very simple process, and I have been composting for past 15 years. And we have a compost bin in my backyard, and it just gives me very beautiful, healthy plant year after year. And composting is a pleasure because nothing from my kitchen goes into garbage. It doesn't go to landfill. It goes back to my backyard. It goes back to Mother Earth. We call it, let's give it back to Mother Earth. That's our language for composting. So when we take out kitchen scrap, the sentence we use is, oh, it's going to Mother Earth. We don't use the word composting. We say it's going to Mother Earth. So in my backyard, 15 years, all organic material is right there in my backyard. And every year I receive the abundance from Mother Earth in terms of the fruits and vegetables and flowers. And another way of composting, which I learned very recently, is if you really don't want to do dry composting, then you can do wet composting, which is also, again, very simple. All you have to do is take half a bucket of water and throw all your organic biodegradable material from your kitchen waste or your papers, anything. Even when you mow the lawn and you have grass clippings or any leaves that has fallen down, it's up to you how far you want to fill up the buckets. You close the lid, you put them in a corner, forget about it. After 3 months, it's your highly enriched, full of fertilizing material compost, and that's liquid form. So you can just pour it on your plant and it gives them a really healthy fertilizer. You don't need any chemical fertilizer. So this is another way of composting, but that water-based or liquid compost, it takes about 3 months to completely dissolve all the organic material. So I have liquid compost as well as dry compost in my backyard, and very helpful for all my plants. Next thing I wanted to share, which I am going to do this year, a brand new. I believed that I really didn't need to buy a lot of planters. I want a lot of vegetable plants. I don't want a lot of tomato plants. And I needed something which I could recycle and use it in my backyard. So I reached out to a company, actually any grocery stores or any food stores such as Dunkin' Donuts or Wendy's. They usually have this. So let me show you. I requested them if I could get this from them because they were throwing it away. This was just going probably on a recycle plant. And I requested if I could use this, and they gave me 100 of this. So I have 100 of this, and I have 100 of this, which is completely free, and they last almost 10 years. It's not going to go bad. So I think that just bringing this 200 containers to my backyard, I have prevented them going to landfill or just being reprocessed again. Reprocessing requires a lot of energy again to melt the plastic down and then create something different out of that plastic. But this, I think this is my treasure. I'm going to use them and I'm going to grow a lot of plants in them. And if anyone wants to see, I will be posting on my Instagram or on my WhatsApp. I will be posting some pictures of what I did with this containers. So, and then lastly, this year, I'm also going to try and start my seeds. Now, these are my seeds right from my kitchen. I did not go and buy any seeds from outside. What did I use from my kitchen? I used the sugar snap pea seeds. In our Indian diet, we make a lot of lentil curry. So sugar snap peas are a staple. So I had some seeds in my pantry, black-eyed peas. And then this year, I am actually spreading word that, hey, everyone should grow peanuts because they are so easy to grow. And the blooms are beautiful with yellow flowers. And at the end of 3 to 4 months, when the plant dries out and you pull it out, you have organic peanuts right there at the bottom of the plant. So there are different ways you can think of nurturing your own garden. What do you want in your backyard? Tomatoes. I don't think that I have ever bought tomato seeds from a store. All I do is whenever I'm cutting tomato, I take 1 spoon of the seeds and I put it on a paper napkin. It dries in about 7 days, and that becomes my seeds for my tomato plant in spring. So throughout the year, uh, if I'm buying those organic produce from the store, I always scoop out some seeds and put them on a paper napkin, dry them so that I can use them during my seed planting season. Cucumber, cantaloupe, pumpkins, a lot of lentils, and from being from India, almost all the whole grains, or like I would say munga beans, or chickpeas, or black-eyed peas, I grow all of them in my backyard. For carrots and onion, actually, I grow them from the sliced part of the vegetables that I cut off. There is a way you can use that to grow a new plant. So I was amazed last year when I experimented all this. Everything was growing. When after cutting the carrot, the head, I put it on soil, and I have a new carrot plant. The beets, you can use the top of the beet and you plant again, and another beet goes. Celery stalk, you cut off the celery, put the base in the water, and the celery plant will come out. I wish I could show you in progression. I have pictures, but I cannot share it right now because I did not prepare them in my slide presentation. But I would be definitely sharing them anytime in future. And the only thing that I want to share with all of you is this whole concept of starting the seed, creating a vegetable garden, having this relationship with my plants. I have adopted, I have asked, like, can I get a baby plant of this, and can I get that plant from you? I will give you one. Let's do plant exchange. So this is an example I want to show you. This is a beautiful, a very rare begonia plant, which I got just one. Like, I had this just one stick I got from a friend, and I have at least 7 pots of this, and I have shared it with many others. And before I end this, I would say yesterday I transplanted about 10 plants of daisies, and everyone knows how beautiful the daisy flowers are. So if anyone wants, I have at least 7 daisy plants to give away. And that daisy plant, from one, it blooms into a bush, and you will be dividing and gifting it to other people. So this is it. I shared what I have learned, and I encourage every one of you that if you never planted seeds, start this year and see what a joyful activity it is. And if you are already an ardent gardener, then I have another request to all of you nurses, the true healers. We have to think about our patient population. You know, we always tell them, eat healthy, eat healthy. But what about those patients who do not have enough money to buy food, the healthy food, the salads and the fresh vegetables and fresh fruits? They are comparatively expensive. So if you are going to grow in your garden, and if you have that gift of abundance, then let's share it. And I have talked about this to a couple of the leaders, and I said, hey, how about growing in our backyard and then making a basket and giving it to someone who is not able to afford this healthy food? Pick an orphanage or a soup kitchen, and let's go as an organization and bring this, what we are we are grateful, we are blessed, we have enough. Let's share it, let's give it to those who cannot afford it. So that's That's the moral of this story of planting our seeds today. Thank you.
Varsha Singh, you have truly, truly blessed us today. And I want to say that we want to acknowledge you, that we appreciate you, and that we admire your leadership in this area. So thank you so much just for all you shared. For all of those of you that may have just joined or that joined late, please know that this will be available on YouTube. We have recorded it so that we'll be able to share it with nurses all across the country. I wanted to bring your attention to a few things. I did put the information about NJSNA and that we are the only professional nursing organization representing the interest of all registered nurses, regardless of areas of specialization, clinical setting, or work environment. And our focus this year has been to care for the caregivers. And so we will continue to bring you programming like this so that we can make sure that someone is caring for you. Just so that you know, we are a membership organization and we do embrace all nurses and want to encourage people to be members. There is, that's the one thing I did not do, and maybe Alyssa, if you could put the link to join if anyone is not a member. I wanted to bring you attention in support of this effort. We are actually embarking on a Flower Power fundraiser. And I'm going to just really quickly share with you the site. I put the link to the fundraiser in the chat. But what's really cool is that you are able to support nurses. And, the reason why we did this is just because nurses have been through trauma and all throughout the pandemic, and that the New Jersey State Nurses Association recognizes the need to support nurses and other healthcare professionals during this time. So the stimulation of the senses and all the great things that that Varsha talked about is why this was just so perfect. We are in the midst and we just started it. So please, there are some lovely, lovely items on here. I myself have gotten some herbs, I've gotten some vegetables, and I've gotten flowers. So I'm really excited to get started. So if there are no other questions for Varsha or myself, I just want to encourage everyone to take care of yourself, to also acknowledge, appreciate, and admire each other, and to, as much as possible, do what we can to care for each other and to care for the things that we grow. All right. Oh, there's a hand raised. Alyssa, would you like to say something?
So I have a history of being terrible with growing anything and keeping it alive.
Okay.
So those buckets that you had, I actually have one of those and I tried to grow a tomato in it. So I did not drill a hole in it. Is that mandatory to drill a hole in the bottom so the water drains? And I don't know.
Yes. I think I will explain it in this way, and it's a little bit philosophical. So drilling a hole is also a metaphor for letting it go. Okay. So we keep pouring water, but the plant doesn't need it. Just it goes with the metaphor of that we have so many things, but we don't need it, and then we don't grow. So the water needs to go. We need the drainage because the roots, they rot. If we have a lot of water sitting at the bottom, we don't know. So we need the drainage. It's very essential. And that's why if you're starting the seed like this, you need to drill the holes under the cup and then put another paper cup full of water. And then your baby will grow like this. So this is another example of using plastic bottle. This is the soil and this is a cotton tissue you see. And it has a drainage, and I use the plastic bottles like this. I cut them, and I wanted to show this here, right here, that I cut them like this. And then this is the hole. So I use all household items. Okay, so this is the corn of the cob, right? So I just puncture a hole here. And then this is the water. This is your seed starter, and this becomes your planter. I had great success with avocado seed, right? And this is going to stay with you forever because this is not going to degrade. So you can use it year after year after year. And your plants are happy because now it has a drainage and it will grow.
Marsha, they're asking for your Instagram handle. I tried to find.
Oh, okay. So I will text it too, but it's very simple because I'm very passionate about climate. It says climate. It's all small. Climate _ save it now is one word. So climate _ save it now. That's an Instagram. I also have started a WhatsApp group, and I am adding people only if they want to be. I share a lot of videos in that WhatsApp group. So we have about 38 members. It's all across the country. And I would say now global too, because I have some global membership too. That WhatsApp group, we just post anything that addresses climate change, how to start your plant, how to do composting, rain garden. Rain garden is another topic because if you are in a flood zone, and if you don't want flood affecting your basement and house, then you need to have a rain garden in your front yard and backyard. So there are a lot of information that we share. And the last thing I wanted to share, which is really a great excitement for me, in Boston, the Institute of Environment, I had submitted an abstract for a presentation on climate change. I just got the notification today that that abstract is accepted. So I will be sharing more information with you once I have details.
Okay, and I put your Instagram in the chat. Climate _ save it now. Are there any final questions? Let's see. Okay. All right. As I said, we thank you so much for this presentation. We are looking forward to seeing what you grow. Maybe we'll have later on in the season, just being able to have everyone share with what they have been able to grow. And unless there are any other questions, I am grateful for everyone being here. Continue to rock with Region 3. We are just going to keep caring for the caregiver. Thank you to all of my board members and to members and friends who joined. We really appreciate you. God bless. And remember to acknowledge, appreciate, and admire each other. Have a wonderful night.
I want to say thank you to Lois Green and Alisa. You worked so hard with me. And I would say this was an idea and you helped me make it a reality. So thank you.
Thank you, Varsha. Thank you for the beautiful tips. It was really helpful. And thanks to NJSNA for actually taking a lead on this and, trying to do this to inspire others. So it really is a blessing to have you fight towards this climate change. So definitely we are all in support, and definitely we could all together achieve more. So thanks for the start.